Hi, I'm Sam,
And I'm Matthew.
and we
We're
are,
brothers in steam.
and in today's discussion video, we are doing the LNER A3 Class Pacific number 4472 Flying Scotsman, probably the most famous locomotive ever built. Well,
It,
it is, isn't it?
well, maybe not, because of course you've got Thomas the Tank Engine, but
Oh. Yeah. The London North Eastern Railway Gresley A1 and A3 class is a 462 Pacific steam locomotive designed by Nigel Gresley. They were designed for mainline passenger services initially for the Great Northern Railway. The change in design to the A3 reflected the fitting of the same chassis as the A1 with a higher pressure boiler, with a greater superheating surface and a small cylinder diameter, leading to an increased locomotive weight. Eventually, all of the A1s were rebuilt, most of the A3 specifications except one A1 locomotive, number 4470, which was completely rebuilt as a Class A11.
there were 52 A1s built, with 51 of the A1s being rebuilt as A3s. There were 27 A3s built from scratch, meaning 78 A3s were built in total. Sadly, only one A3 class survived into preservation, which was an A1 rebuild.
LNER A3 Pacific number 4472 Flying Scotsman is the sole survivor of the class. 4472 was withdrawn from BR service in 1963 and was sold straight out of BR by Alan Pegler.
After a while of running the locomotive on the main line for enthusiasts and a tour of America, Allen was in debt, and after a while he was declared bankrupt in the High Court in 1972. Fears then came about for 4472's future, with speculation that it could make up permanent residence in America or even be cut up.
Then in 1973, a man called William McAlpine stepped in and brought the locomotive direct from the finance company in San Francisco docks. Then in February 1973, she returned to the United Kingdom and was sent straight to Derby Works for restoration back into service.
In the summer of 1973, she went for trial runs on the Paignton and Dartmouth Steam Railway. After this, she went on various mainline steam tours, and in 1988, Flying Scotsman went to Australia due to A4 Class 4468 Mallard being unavailable.
She returned to Britain in 1990 and she continued working on the mainline until her mainline boiler certificate expired in 1993. She then toured preservation lines to raise money for its up-and-coming overhaul.
In her next overhaul, she was being put into the BR condition, with the refitting German-style smoke deflectors, the refitting of a double chimney, and being painted into BR Brunswick green. By 1995, 4472 was in pieces at Southall Railway Centre in West London.
Facing an uncertain future owing to the cost of the restoration and refurbishment necessary to meet the engineering standards required for the mainline operation. Then in the 1966, her salvation came by her being brought by Tony Marchington, also known as Dr. Tony Marchington. He got 4472 restored, which took 3 years and at a cost of £1 million.
With the Flying Scotsman's regular use on the VSOE Pullman and with other events on the main lines, she was a common sight for enthusiasts around the UK, with huge crowds being drawn wherever she went. In September 2003, Tony was declared bankrupt, with the locomotive effectively being put up for sale. After a high-profile national campaign, she was then bought in April 2004 by the National Railway Museum in York.
After 12 months of interior and running repairs, she ran for a while to raise monies for a forthcoming 10-year major overhaul. In February 2006, she entered the museum's workshops for a major overhaul to return into Gresley's original specification to renew its boiler certificate.
Originally, she was meant to be completed by mid-2010, if the right funds were raised, but a late discovery of more problems happened. In October 2013, she was moved to Ian Riley's workshop in Bury for her restoration back into running condition by 2015. On the 29th of April 2015, her boiler left the NRM to be returned to the rest of the locomotive in Bury.
In January 2016, the overhaul was finally completed and her testing begun on the 8th of January on the East Lancashire Railway. She came out of the works in North East in wartime black livery, which she was put in for Railfest 2012. She is due to be put in to BR Brunswick Green and numbers 60103. So, Matthew, what do you think of the Flying Scotsman?
I actually really like it. It was like when I first got into trains, it was like one of the most famous locomotives, obviously, and it was one of the ones I knew the most, and I kind of had a connection with it. And it was the first proper locomotive that ran on my layout like well and stuff. So I have a sentimental value for it, and I just think it looks really nice, and it looks like a locomotive, because you get the locomotives which are nice, like the like Mallard or whatever, but that doesn't
Mm.
look like a locomotive. Well, but Flying Scotsman does. Like if someone asks you to draw a steam loco, they'd probably draw something that doesn't look too dissimilar to the Flying Scotsman, and I like it.
Mm.
What about you?
I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. I know it's a famous engine, and if you don't like it, you're not a proper railway enthusiast. But that's everyone else's opinion. But my opinion is, I just don't like it. It's I'm not a big fan of the LNER. The only designs of the LNER are like the most of the Thompson designs and the Peppercorn designs and Gresley's A4 Pacifics and some of their smaller 060s they've got out they produced. But I know, yes, I know I want to go and see it and all of that and have a look around it, but it's not really a locomotive that'll make me go, woo, that's different. I prefer that engines look like the Q1, the Kings, the S160s, the U-boats, the Manners. I think they look better in total, overall. And I don't know why they would pay £4.3 million to do an overhaul on it when they can just stick it in a museum to the original state she was in, single chimney, no smoke deflectors,
I do have
and
to
just
say,
leave her there, like Mallard is, like next to it, and just do a new build version of her. Because one, it will probably cost less, and then in the overall time, over a 10 years running period, it will cost less anyway.
and
Because
it's
they'll
pretty
have
much
all
a new
more
loco
up-to-date
anyway, isn't
stuff.
it?
Fun?
It's pretty much a new loco anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, but
I have to say I don't like it with the smoke deflectors and double chimney.
no.
Actually, yeah, my model's single chimney. Yeah, I don't like the. But you can't argue that it's achieved a lot.
Yeah,
Like America and Australia,
yeah,
it's proved successful in those countries, and if it isn't for the famous stuff, you might not get as many enthusiasts. Like you can't,
mm,
even though Thomas the Tank Engine is seen as childish, and some railways don't like, the days out with Thomas and stuff. You can't
mm,
argue that it brought a lot more enthusiasts into it who started watching trains from a young age. And I think
yeah.
that's true of the Flying Scotsman as well.
Mm.
It's
So
it's done a lot for the railway community.
yeah. So what livery do you like the engine in?
Um, I like it in the apple green.
Hmm.
I mean, I probably seem like a cliche railway enthusiast just liking the famous ones, but it's generic livery, the one it's most famous for. But I like that livery the best.
Hmm.
Then I'd say it does suit the BR Brunswick green
Yeah.
just about.
Yeah. Well,
However, I
I
don't
like
like
it.
it in black.
Hmm. Well, I like it in the black it's in now, but I like it in the black with no smoke deflectors on.
Yeah,
That looks nice. Double chimney in black with no smoke deflectors on. I don't know what it is with black. Black looks good. So yeah.
yeah, I know. But yeah, I think it personally suits green better. But
Hmm.
because there are some locos that just look like black locos, and some that look like
Hmm.
green.
Well, but the thing is, though, you say you don't like black and it looks like a normal engine and it's like boring, but you look at the black fives. That's the only really engine which really suits the black because it's
I think a
pretty
couple
much,
of Great Westerns suit black, to be honest.
yeah, like the
I just don't
transport.
think Scotsman does.
Well, I know because everyone's used to it into the green, aren't
Yeah,
they?
but I genuinely wouldn't like it in black
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, that's the end of today's discussion.
Indeed.
Next video will be on the Duchess of Sutherland, which is an LMS engine, and then after that, we'll be going to the good old Southern Railways again. I think it's Southern Railways.
What are
I
we
think it
doing?
is.
What are we doing?
I am. Let me just I know we're doing Duchess of Sutherland next, and after Duchess of Sutherland,
Are we doing Lord Nelson?
few coming up, but after the Duchess of Sutherland, we're doing a BR engine. We're doing a BR engine, which is Britannia, but you can all wait for that, lunatics. But oh well, it's all going to be good anyway for the video. So please like and subscribe to this video, and go to our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Banter happens.
Facebook page, extra content or pictures and videos and things coming
where
out.
we're going and competitions and stuff like that.
Yeah. Lots to come in the future.
Well, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe now.
Now.
And that's all from me, I'm afraid.
That's all from me as well. Thanks for watching.